Welcome everyone to another Division video. Now let me start off the video by saying I hope everyone's doing well and you're all enjoying this beautiful weekend. Now in today's video it's a little bit different than what I normally do. This video is more of an interactive video with my community of subscribers, as I have got some gameplay videos lined up and I will be putting them out in the next few days. But yeah, it's what changes, what ideas I've got for the future of the division, whether it's in the next year or whether it's in Division 2. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to smash your ideas down in the comments. And you know, I don't want ideas like Nerf Pred, Nerf Nomad, because some of them ideas are obvious. I know people don't like them. I want them to be creative ideas. You never know, the developers may stumble across this video and they may take your ideas into consideration. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Enjoy. Now the first idea I had was the vending machine. Now I know this sounds a bit crazy, but what did you expect? I'm always gonna think of a crazy idea. Now I've had this idea for quite some time, and it's basically place a vending machine inside the base of operations, and it's loaded full of gear sets, exotics and vanity items. Now I know you're all probably focused on my amazing graphic design, but like I say, it is a rough idea. But there's two ways with this idea how I was thinking it could operate. So the first idea for the vending machine, I was thinking maybe a new credit system. Now we know there's a lot of different types of credits in the game. We have normal credits, DZ credits, Phoenix credits, global event credits. So why not introduce another type of credit into the game, and you could get it from drops from bosses or completing missions. And the idea I had was the more credits that you put into the machine, so the more credits you save up, the higher chance of getting a better item. So if you had, like, say 5,000 credits saved up, that could give you like a 25% or a 50% chance of a rare item, which I thought was a pretty good idea. Now another idea I had for the vending machine was to trade in duplicates for a chance to get items that you want or maybe that you need. Now let me try and give you a scenario on this. A few weeks ago I was playing a global event, and it was the global event where you could get tactician classified. Now I was grinding and grinding and grinding, and it might just be my luck, but I opened a bunch of caches and I ended up with 8 classified tactician chests. Now I only need 1 or 2 max. So this idea I thought of, it's just a great way to get rid of unwanted items. You know, I don't know how many, I couldn't give you a number of, maybe you could put in 5 classifieds that you don't want and get a random one back. And I think this way as well, it would help with the declutter of your stash, because in effect you could put 20 items into it and you might get 1 or 2, maybe 3 back, and that's less items in my eyes. Now my next idea is focused on loyal player rewards, and what I mean by this is I can't see why it's not been implemented in the game already. You know, there's people who stick by the game every single day, like myself, who keep playing it, and there's been that many nerfs and changes. Sometimes it just felt like, what was the point in grinding for that gear set, because it's just been nerfed. And also in my team who I play with, I've got players who have stuck to the grind and they've got all the commendations. Now I don't know if you know what commendations are. They're just small challenges within the menu in your dossier, and it's across the whole game. Now I've got teammates who have completed the ultimate task of doing all the commendations. Now my idea here was, why not reward them with a mask, a unique mask? That's why it's pictured below, to show that these players are loyal players, they're experienced veterans in the game, and they've got this mask to show it. Or even a 10% discount, that's what that image is for, a 10% discount for the Division 2, just to give back to the loyal players. And I know they give back a little bit, they give back cipher keys and stuff like that. In my eyes, that's not good enough. You know, give players unique items for the hard grind that they've put into the game. Next is changes I'd like to see in PvE. Now, to be fair, PvE is probably the best it's been for a long time. It is really good, but there's two changes I'd like to see, and that is more strategic and interactive boss fights, and also more focus on gameplay like survival DLC. Now let me start off with the first one. The boss fights can be a little bit repetitive, especially in the missions. You know, it's just, they are bullet sponges, and it's just constantly hammering them with bullets and then you kill them. Now they have touched on, you know, more interactive fights like in Stolen Signal and Dragon's Nest, where you've got to press the buttons, and also maybe a bit in Clear Sky. But that's what I'd like to see, more boss fights that get you thinking, where the boss may have a weakness and your gear set is the weakness, so you become a major role. Or puzzles, like if you think of like Tomb Raider games, different puzzles, or Uncharted, just to make the missions a little bit less boring sometimes. And also more focus on the gameplay of survival. Now if you haven't played the DLC Survival, I'm not sure where you've been at, because for me, you know, I wish they focused more on that. It's the best DLC I have played, because I am an old school player and I like the gaming experience more than like this is the fastest loot, which it's not. You know, you don't get great loot from it, but the gaming experience in it is just fantastic. So I'd like to see more of that, more of survival, and maybe work on it in the future. Another big change for me will be to categorize your gear. Now this is a big one for me, and all my friends in fact mentioned it. You need to be able to organize your gear in a better way, put it into different categories, because the amount of times that I have put a piece of gear in my stash and I don't know if I've moved it to a different character, and then a few weeks later I go to find it and it's just totally disappeared, and it just feels like it's so disorganized. So for me, a massive change would be to introduce different categories, whether it's all the same pieces in a list of the same gear set, all your, for example, striker, all your gear set in a list, or into like a small box or something, and you expand it and that's got all your striker stuff into it. But there needs to be a way to categorize gear, because for me it's just too disorganized. Finally is PvP changes. Now this is one that I'm sure everyone will be, well, most people will be interested in, because the PvP is pretty bad at the moment, and that is due to lag and desync, and they need to improve the dedicated servers. They need to work on that. That is number one, because in my eyes PvP keeps this game alive, and they need to improve on the servers. Now the problems that people are having, as you can see in the clip below, people are getting shot through walls, and also you might run around the corner on your screen, but on the enemy's screen you're still in their line of sight. Now these things, you know, shouldn't happen, and better servers need to be put into place. So they were my changes in PvP, but this is an idea that I thought of yesterday, an all gold build in DZ. Now what I mean by this is, if they're going to keep gold pieces in the Division 2, I'm not sure if they are, but if they do keep gold pieces, why not have the option to just have a gold DZ? Now a lot of people complain about the gear sets, you know, being too OP, like Predators and Nomads. So, you know, why not have a DZ that you can select? You can have this one, which is a gold build DZ, or you can have a DZ which is anything goes. And this way, you know, there's still a lot of variety within the gold build. I've only just been using it recently in Resistance to see how far I can get. And you can have an electronics gold build, you could have a DPS gold build. But yeah, it was just an idea that I thought, you know, it would really show a player's true skill if everyone was running, you know, equal like gear. So yeah, that was my final idea, and that is my video on changes and ideas that I have for the future of the division. And I do have plenty more, but I'm sure you don't want to hear me speaking all day. So, and also I wanted to leave some ideas for you guys to put in the comments below. So as soon as you've watched this video, you know, get creative and leave me a comment on an idea that you think would benefit in the division or in the future of the division. And I thank everyone for spending their time watching my video, and everyone make sure you take care, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.